Oh, hello, and welcome back to the Joy of Painting Middle-earth. I'm Timbo Took, and I'm happy you've joined me. Oh, it's already been 25 times. Can you believe it? This is the 25th episode that we've come together to paint the most fantastic landscapes Middle-earth has to offer. So I thank you all for joining me. We went over 1,000 subscribers this week. If you get a chance, go see my September 22nd episode, Hobbit Day, where I went back to that Gollum's cave painting we did a few weeks back, and we added Gollum into there. So I hope all of you get a chance to see that, and check out some of the other YouTube artists or YouTube channels that celebrate the works of Tolkien that were a part of that day. Anyways, as always, I'm happy that you've joined me. I may not be the best painter in the Shire, but I do love it so. So if you're ready, grab your paints and your brushes, and let's go on an adventure. Okay, we've got our canvas here prepared, and again we have a black canvas. Oh, you guys like those so much, and they're so much fun to do. So the way we prepare the black canvas is we put a paint called liquid clear on top of that. Very, very lightly, a very thin sheen of that. That's how Bob Ross, the blue wizard, that's how he taught us how to paint. We put a thin coat of that liquid white, and then we have something our oil paints can move right across. So we're going to go into our alizarin crimson here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this in, and you're not going to be able to see it, all that much. You can if you're close. But we're just going to put this in here for today's painting, because we'll be able to bring that out, and you'll see how these colors just mix together. So just this top portion today. Oh, silly me, I forgot to tell you what we're painting. Oh, you know it. It's a very intense scene from the book, or if you've seen the movie. That's right, the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. Oh, you know it. That's where old Gandalf the Grey stood his ground with the Balrog on that bridge. That's right. So we just put that alizarin crimson down, and you can barely see that. We're going to wash off our brush, and now we're going to go back into it, and you'll see the magic that happens then. That's right. And as always, I'm cleaning my brush in odorless paint thinner. And then I just have a rubbish bin down there where I beat the Sauron out of the brush. That's right, if we were outside in the pasture like I like to paint, we'd just beat the Sauron out of the brush right there on the easel. But we can't do that when we're inside. It'll make a terrible mess. That's right. Okay, let's go find one of our fan brushes. Okay, now that we've got this fan brush, and we know the alizarin crimson is down there, we know there's a great fire down in those caverns from the Balrog. That's right, in the mines of Moria, the dwarves delved too deep. There we go. So we're going to come right into here. We've got that yellow on our brush, and this will be the brightest part of that fire. So it's going to be in here. We'll start in there, the most intense part, and work our way out. And you'll see. Oh, this is magical, magical. Here we go. And we just bring that in and then bring it out to the edges. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yes. There we go. This fire lights up the caverns. There we are. Just crisscross strokes with that fan brush. And you see that yellow mixes with the alizarin crimson, and it just creates all those different variations in your color. We'll go back into a little bit more yellow and come back into the center to brighten that up there. There we are. And just bring it out. Bring it out. And then it just gets lost in the smoke and the haze. Everything over there. Grab some more of our yellow. Let's put that right in the center there. There we go. Now what we want to do, we don't want to mix that all together. It'll just turn to a bright orange, and we don't want that. We want those variations in the color. Now we're going to go back to our clean, dry 2-inch brush. There we go. Now with this, we're going to come in and we're going to soften this out. We're not trying to mix it together at this point. We just want to soften it. There we go. So very lightly, very lightly. You can see how that does that there. There we are. There we are. And very quickly we have a background that our Balrog can be in. This Balrog, he's more of a shadow. That's right. Shadow and flame, that's how they describe him. So we're going to come in just to our ivory black here. And you see it's getting a little thin there. I put some paint thinner to make that thin. Thin that out. There we go. And that should help it stick without picking up too much of this color underneath. So what we want to do is we're just going to come in, and this is a very light touch. We put this in because we are picking up some of that paint that we just put down. And this will kind of get lost back there. That's right. You have to knock off some of that paint you're picking up. Come back in. And then this is, of course, one of that monster's wings back here. Now, the fact that there is some color there, that's okay, because the wings, the body of the creature are just peeking out through the flames. The flames are coming from him and around him. That's right. That's right. So we come back and we get some more, and we just put it in here. We just want the presence of this creature to be shown through. There we go. And you can just knock some of that color off on your palette. Go back in, pick some of it up. There we go. So you see, you've got that shadow of the creature there. We'll go on the other side. And we'll make another one of his wings here. Right up here. Just put that in, just the curvature of that big old wing that's on his back. Just letting it get lost at the bottom. These aren't the details that are going to show through. There we go. If you want to darken that up a little bit more, just come back in here. There we are. And a bit of a hook at the end of that wing. There we go. Gets lost in the flame. Lost in the flame. Now, of course, there are ways to paint where you would lay down that background and then you'd let it dry for a few days, and then you come back and you put in the wings and let those dry, and then come back and like you're making a sandwich, you just put layer after layer after layer. But we don't always, with this wet on wet technique, we're not always looking for all those specific details, and we can lay down quite a bit while the paint is still wet. There we go. Now, come back in. We have that 2-inch brush that we used, and we're going to just pull some of this flame over the wing. That's right. And so you create these stringy things. Oh, that's just smoke coming off of there. There we go. That's right. Knock some of your paint off that you're picking up. And then you just soften it, pull it. There we go. And you see that? That's just a shadow back there poking through those flames. Oh, yes. All right. Now the creature's head will be here. And again, we're not coming in and doing all of the details. We're just putting in what we can. And we know this creature had great horns like a ram. That's right. Those horns came down to his face. There we go. We're just putting the size of the creature in there now. And here is the outline of the creature's head. Again, it's wreathed in flame, so we don't see all the details of it. We're just putting that in. There we go. There we are. Let's get that creature there. And a lot of that, we know the scary thing that's there, and it's sometimes what you don't see that's a little more scary. So we put them in there. Let's come back and get some more. And now this, we know he's a massive creature, and just with massive shoulders. There we go. His arms come out. There we are. Again, he's just swallowed up by these flames. The flames are almost a part of him. There we go. Just putting in the basic shape there. And maybe we bring these horns out even larger, make his head a bit bigger. There we go. And it's almost like his skin is cracking and those flames are just coming right out of those cracks. There we go. And then we can, once we drop it down, we can start to smooth out some of that shape. There we go. And of course, we'll have a bridge. And, a wizard needs to be on that bridge as well. There we go. There we are. We've got a creature in there that we can see. We can even come to one of our script liner brushes. Now we want to make sure we get that pretty wet. And then we can give a little detail, not too much. Now, depending on the type of artist you are, you know me, I'm a landscape artist, so while these are fun things to do from Middle-earth, my heart is in the trees and the mountains, and the green things that grow. So we do what we can there. We do what we can there. Just giving the creature some definition and shape. There we go. And as I said, as these dry, you can always come back and put more details in there. That just gets kind of lost. There we go. And we can come back and pull some of this flame and then soften it out down here. There we go. And again, that's giving us a base to work with. If you want to come in and put more details or you want it to be more hidden, you can just really blur that out if you'd like. There we go. There we go. Now, this is blackness around here, but we do know that there's a bridge that comes this way. Oh, the Bridge at Khazad-dûm. There we go. We're going to grab some of our titanium white, come into some of our burnt umber, and we'll get kind of a rocky color here. There we go. Just mix that together. Somewhere down here, our bridge will start. And this bridge comes over this pit. And would you be able to run across a bridge like this with no parapet, no railings on the side for you, none at all, no safety nets, nothing? There we go. And Could you run across here at full speed, trying to get away from that creature, the same way our party did? That's right. Would you be able to run across that bridge? Oh, who knows, who knows. Okay. Now, let's bring this. We've just come in with a fan brush to some of our titanium white and some of our burnt umber. And just pull straight down, straight down. As you come back towards you, you're going to go a little bit further down. If you have to, turn that brush, but you're still pulling straight down this way. See that? There we go. Let's maybe even darken that up. Let's go into more of our brown color there. Come into that. There we go. Pull it straight down the way the rock goes. The way the rock goes. Now what we'll do is we're going to come from the bottom where it's at its blackest, at its darkest, and we'll come up from there. Again, pulling straight up. And I'm standing a little bit off to the side, so I'm not right in your way like that. So I kind of have to tilt my head and go this way, so it's hard to get that perfect angle on there. There we go. And you just mix the lighter from the top and the darker from the bottom. And you give yourself that perspective of how this bridge comes. And then maybe there's some rock and thing on this side that you're crossing over to. Just put that along the bottom there. That side of the... There we go. There we go. Now on that side, let's come to our palette knife. And we'll come again to some of that titanium white right into our brown here. And we want maybe pick up a little bit of that black as well. Over here. Pull that out a little bit more. Oh, I didn't even mix that together real good. Oh, you see that? That's why you want to pull it out real thin, like that. Just kind of, there we go. Grab that, and then this over here. This is that cliff that goes off down into the depths, into the darkness, and let's try and keep a cleaner line than that. There we go. This is the chasm you're crossing. As I said, would you be able to run across a bridge it's that high you can't even see the bottom and there's nothing to hold and you just run across at full speed? Well, I'd bet you'd be able to if something like that was chasing you. There we go. There we go. Here we are. Just come back and get these. There. And we even need to put some under the bridge. And that just fades down into nothing. You can't see a thing, it's such a black pit. There we go. And the same, now follow your line, don't go on your bridge. Follow it across and see where it would pick up on this side. There you go. And again, I'm tilting my head, so I'm painting downhill. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that, so excuse me if I step in front of you a moment. Excuse me. There we go. Oh, my grand gaffer Gamgee and my grandpappy Took, they told me about this part of the story. Oh, I don't think there was a moment where they were more frightened. Well, maybe there were a few other moments. It was quite the adventure. Quite the adventure. There we go. And you just pull that straight down. The paint just breaks off. It's okay if you go under your bridge a little bit over here, because what we're going to do is we'll go and put a top on that bridge as well. Just some color in there. There we go. And once you have your top done, then you can work on just pulling it down further and further. Grab a little more, of course. Now, if you have to turn your blade, remember, turn it, but still pull it straight down. There we go. Now, wipe that off. Come to our black. Just get a little black there, and what we want to do is we just want to give an outline to the bottom of this bridge to separate it. There we go. There we are. Now, let's come back, and we're going to go back to some of our titanium white. We want it to mostly white color. This is going to be a little bit brighter. There we go. And this is going to be for the top of our bridge, the floor, and just pull it. You see how these lines go straight down. Now we're going to pull it across, and that'll give it that separation of direction that gives you dimensionality to your bridge. There it is. Just come back and load that paint up on your brush. There we go. There we go. And just from the side, just make it a little lighter. Just again, pull it straight across. And as I said, I imagine at home you'll be right in front of your painting, so you won't be painting it like this. Now I'll be walking around for the rest of the day like this, because I painted it without standing in the way. Oh, I'm knocking into things. I need to quit talking and just start painting. There we go. There we are. And you see, of course, it gets wider as it comes over to this side. There we go. And then on this side, do some of that. The same, go in the opposite direction. Your cliff falls down, but your floor goes side to side. Don't worry, we'll fix up. I'm sure you're going, Timbo, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're messing up your wall. No, this just gets lost back here in these caverns somewhere. There we are. Oh, I did pick up some of that brown. Just pull it in. Just pull it in. Okay. Now we don't have that much flame and light and all of that in the back there. Without picking up some highlight on the ground. So we'd put a little bit of that color in there. Just reflecting all that flame. There's so much flame there, that's right. We just came in to some of those flame type colors. Just grab a bit, throw it in, just so it's not all mixed as one. There we go. Now this guy too. There's even more flame here in front of him. There we go. Now, soften some of this flame out. There we are. Again, he's just back there in the shadows and the heat. Now that we've got him there needs to be a wizard making a stand right there in the middle. Right there in the middle. So what we'll do, I'm going to grab this brush. What does it say this is? I don't know. It's a number 5 something. Something or other. Oh, I did forget to mention. If you'd like to pick up your own set of paints, I do have a link in the description to some of the supplies that I use. Oh yes, you can find this great kit by Bob Ross the Blue. It gives you most everything you need. You'll have to pick up canvas and some odorless paint thinner, but that is a good way to start. And when you use those links in the description, oh yes, that helps support the show as well. And Timbo's able to buy more paints and canvases and things like that. So it's all part of what we do. Here we go. Let's say there's a wizard right about here, making his stand. What I'm doing is I'm just putting a little silhouette in here. Just something that the rest of the color can stick to. There you go. And maybe we could do a better job if we took a little bit more time and let it dry and things like that. But, oh, this is just some fun playing around. There we go. There we go. So we got our wizard right there. Oh, Gandalf the Grey making a stand right there in the center. And let's see, we got his robes would hang down. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I don't know if you can, but again, we're going to come and we're going to put some color in this one. So there we go. And just right there. Oh, it looks kind of like a tree in the middle there. Gandalf the tree, don't be silly. All right, enough. Now what we'll do is I'm going to come, and I have a little bit of paint thinner on the brush there, and I'm going to come into this white, and we're just going to we're going to thin it out so it's like ink, and we're going to put it on there, and that, you'll see, that will mix with what's already there, and that can give us our gray robes. There we go. There's the brave Gandalf the Grey. And this would be the last we see of Gandalf the Grey. Oh no, now I don't want to be a spoiling tomato. But I'm sure all of you know the story. Yes, things that happened here had to happen. All right. Let's knock some of that paint off. Come back into our white. There we go, and we'll give a little more areas, a little brighter white. And just give yourself some streaks. These are the folds in his robe. There we go. Come back in, pick up some more of the white, and we want to make that brighter along there. There we go. Now he's not Gandalf the White yet. But we do, oops, got it a little wet, so it's a little runny now. That's okay. That's okay. And we just make his top of his head there. There we go. And of course, he's not facing us. He's facing that monster. That's right. Now, and what's he have in his hand but his trusty old staff? So using our palette knife, we're just going to put this in here. And come across to the other side. Right there. And then in this hand, I believe he has a sword. So we'll put that there. There we go. Now that we've done that, let's give that some highlight so you can actually see it. Oh, don't cut. You want a thin row. You don't want it to be too thick. So just come in and touch that just to give it the highlight. Grab it. Oop, that might be too much on there. When you're doing something thin like this, you don't want to have too much on there. There's his sword. There we go. A little more highlight right here. So you know it's a staff. And then, of course, there is a shimmer coming from this. There we go. Come back to that. And we just want that to glow. Now, what we're going to do is we have that arc there, and this is a bit of a glow. So we're just going to soften that up, just taking our 1-inch brush. And you see that we diffuse that area, knock some of that paint off, come back. There we go. And that just gives us that protection around him that he's casting. There we go. There we are. Now that we have that, now we want to come in and we want to get some white here. And right at the end of this shaft, that is the brightest white that is just shimmering from that. That is what the glow is from. So you see that? His staff emits that protection all around him. Now, of course, we have our creature here, and maybe we want to put a little bit more in on him. And so his mouth, his gaping mouth, do that. And let's just come to our yellow. Some of that bright flame. And again, we're just showing he's just back there in the shadow. There we go. Give him some eyes as well. Now, and again, we can diffuse that a little because we want it just kind of peeking through. There we go. So, there we have it. Real quick, we've done the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, and you see, oh, Mr. Gandalf, he's protecting the rest of our party that's making their escape. Now, once this painting dries, you can go back in and you can put more detail right on top of that, and that'll bring it out, oh, so much more. But for now, this gives you just the base that's laid down, and you can add as much detail as you want. Or if you say, you know what, that's how I pictured it in my own mind. I like that, where you can't see the true details, anything like that. That's a fun way to do it too. So it's up to you. It's your world. You're creating it. I know you can do it. Just follow along. You know, that's a fun one. Like I said, my heart's in painting mountains and trees and clouds. These are fun to do from time to time, and I just thought since it's been 25 episodes together, we could do one like this, and you might like that. So thank you for joining me. Remember to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining me on today's painting. I'm so happy you were with me. Now, if you'd like to continue to go on painting adventures with me, become part of my fellowship, and you do that by clicking that subscribe button below. Yes, and be sure to give it a like and a share. That would be oh so helpful. Now, we don't know how many of these seeing stones are unaccounted for, so we don't know who else is watching. I've got to go. Have a good day.